I can't think anymore. What do I mean by that? Well, I am a person who likes to think a lot, right? And today, and honestly, as of late, I've been kind of sad. It happens, everyone gets sad once in a while. And the problem is, like, when I used to think, I would just think, and occasionally, if I would have a, like, bad or, like, kind of, like, mean thought, I would reprimand myself and be like, yeah, don't think that way. It's not good for you. And so I would stop. And that would be the end of it. But as of late, it's almost feel like my entire head has turned into a minefield of, like, bad thoughts. Like, not nothing like really really bad. It's just very very. I've made a video along these lines before, but it's just very very negative thoughts. Not only that though, but a lot of times when I think, right, I may start like beating up myself in my head, right? I'm like, and then I cut myself some slack in my head. I'm like, oh, that's fine. But a lot of times, the way I cut myself some slack is by pointing out things I'm good at in order to compensate for the thing I'm bad at. And so I point out, like, oh, it's okay, you're pretty smart. And then you point that out. But then, because, um, like, I've been so unconfident in myself, in my own abilities, and have gone through such drastic changes, in my opinion, and I feel so insecure on many fronts about myself. Like, I'm like, wait, can I even think that anymore? And then, like, I start be like, oh, comparing myself to other people, and then that's even worse, and then that makes me feel bad. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a really bad person for this. And then I just go keep, like, it's just like any thought in my head immediately becomes a chain of thoughts that leads to another, leads to another, that branch off into six different directions, that hit six different points that it shouldn't hit, that make me really, really, like, not in a good mood, which, like, it's just a giant pinball machine in my head. And then, like, it ends with me just, like, thinking, and then I just like, can't take it anymore. I'm just, like, start, like, you know, I just break down, basically, and it's not good, right? And, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I kind of do, but, like, it's just, like, honestly, it's almost gotten to a point where a lot of times I, like, kind of look forward to sleep because then I don't have to think about stuff. Like, even when I'm trying not to think about things, like, I try to, like, I've thought of many solutions for this, right? One is just, like, don't don't worry about it, just try and be happy and then you'll be fine, which is true. Just, like, like the video I made, like, be grateful for what you have, don't complain about things you do have. And overthinking is kind of complaining. But at the same time, like, okay, I'm trying to think of what I do have, and then I'm happy for a while. But then I'm so easily thrown into that ginormous pinball machine loop. One small thing, any small mention of any, like, tiny negative thing, and then it'll spiral. It'll bounce off there. It'll bounce off there, and then the whole chain goes off. The entire chain goes off. And obviously, like, these are very personal negative thoughts. I'm not gonna, like, share all of them out loud, but, like, you guys get the idea. It's just like a huge spiral, and then I wonder, oh, is this actually who I am? Like, am I, like, it's just one, I have no ground in myself. I have almost fully lost sense of, number one, who I am and who I want to be, right? Number two is that, like, like, okay, I don't know number two, but number one, that is very important, because if I don't have a ground for myself, I can constantly question what I'm thinking about. And once I start questioning the thinking itself, I even question the quality of my own thinking. I'm like, wait, is this thinking even good? I question every single aspect. Not even like, it's not even like, oh, is this a good thought or not? The way I formulate my thoughts is under constant scrutiny by myself too. Like, I can't do a single thing without myself thinking about it and thinking about myself thinking. And so I'm thinking about myself thinking about myself thinking. And it's insane. It's like, crazy. And then but another thing, sorry, I lost my train of thought. It's just like I just it's I try not to think about it, but then it's so constantly everywhere. It just keeps popping up, and then I'm just stuck there. And then like I feel like I'm like, because of this, like, now what am I supposed to do? And then I get mad at myself, and it's even worse. So it's just like so many compounding factors that just pile up on each other and make yeah. Oh, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, like I honestly look forward to going to sleep because I don't have to think that much. Yeah, my head is just extremely messy right now, and like then I'm like, oh yeah, I need to be doing something productive, but I feel like I can't because my head's so messy. But then I'm like, oh, that's an excuse. Like you can't be doing that, and then I'm just like, wait, yeah, okay, so I gotta focus, but then I can't, and then there's a giant tug of war in my head, and then I'm like, oh, but then this, and then just change, and everything just explodes. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know what the solution to this is. Like, if you guys have a solution, feel free to comment it down below. But it's just, I don't know. Like, this is very closely tied to my recent videos, like how I've been feeling, why I feel so out of control, so much changes. It's because I feel so out of control of my thoughts, of everything. Like, I don't understand what is going on anymore. Like, what, like, it's so, it's like constant existential, like, questioning, and like I'm just like constantly deconstructing myself as a person, and then like scrutinizing every piece of it, and then like scrutinizing myself. It's so like every single bit of thinking has been wrapped in so much metacognition that I can't think without thinking about my thinking. It's so like and the problem is once I think you take that step of like overly thinking about your thinking, you can't even go back, because how do you think about things in simpler ways without constantly adjusting what you're trying to, like, you know what I mean? It's just a huge jumble of very hard to control mess. I'm not, I think I'm just really frustrated. Like, I feel like I've tried like a lot of things. Like, I've tried like not thinking about it. I've tried focusing on good things. I've tried this and that, but it seems like this jumble of thoughts always seems to come back somehow, and I can't work through it. Like, usually before, like, okay, I would have like something on my mind. I would work through it. I would untie the knot and I'd be done with it. I feel like I've made this video before. Maybe I have, but maybe this is I'm so negative video. I don't even remember. But I would untie the knot and that would be done with it. But this, because it's so interwoven, because every single thing triggers the other in some way that compounds on top of each other, just all linked together by the thinking about the thinking, it's just a giant thing that just keeps on circulating and spewing out. Like, once it gets kicked off, like, the only thing I can fix it is like a temporary respite of me like not thinking about it. And so basically that means I just can't think about anything, like, unless I'm in a really good mood and a really happy mood. Otherwise it just goes in a downward spiral into nothingness. And the problem is, like, at times I'm like, oh, I shouldn't do this negative spiral, but then it feels good to somehow. Like, I don't know what's going on. If you guys know, please tell me. Yeah, sorry, this is probably the rantiest video I've ever done. Like, I know there are so many people out there that go through so much worse, and like, you know, this is probably nothing, but it is annoying. Like, if it's not, it's definitely not the end of the world, of course, but the least that it is annoying. It is so annoying having to I don't know what to do. I don't have that much mental dexterity to control myself, and that becomes another point of attack on myself. And it's just a constant, like, every single thing is just like another trigger for another bad thing, and it's just horrible. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Yeah, sorry for if this video is a bit of a sad, let down, heavy, angry. I try not to, but I just wanted to rant today. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. And I don't know if it's caused by. I know someone in the comments, like, thank you for leaving that long comment. It's very, very informative. It might be like second puberty or something, but like, yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. I'm just really tired of like constantly trying not to think. And I think maybe I'm actually just very physically tired and drained today in particular. But I think to a certain extent these are my thoughts in general over the past month or so. It's just that I've been so... It's not even emotionally constipated. I feel like I have people to talk to it about. But like, it's just such a predicament that I don't feel like it's like... It's like, what could be the solution to this? Like, what, therapy? Maybe? I mean, it's just such a big ball, such a big mess that it just feels like, where can I start to unravel it? You know what I mean? But yeah, that's all I really have for today. I mean, like, it's really bad. At this point, like, a lot of times, the only times I almost feel happy sometimes is like when I feel like I'm trolling myself. I'm like, ah, ha, ha. You know, I'm just laughing at myself. And like, maybe it is part of growing up, losing that childish joy you have. This is sounding like the negative video all over again. But I mean, it's okay. Like, I think how eventually it'll work out is, first of all, I'll get a better sense of myself to be more confident in my own thinking and whatnot. And then eventually, I'll probably just like stop being as negative for a while, and then it'll be good. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you guys stay till the end, I'll be fine. Don't worry. Yeah. It's fine. But yeah. I mean, it honestly very depends on mood. Like, my mood is insanely swingy, as you can tell. What happened to this part of the parkour? Like, I need to go in creative now, but it's okay. I'll just end the video here. Alright, have a good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you somewhat enjoyed this video or got something out of it if you're going through a somewhat similar thing, which I don't know. But yeah, that's all I have. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like, subscribe, comment what you think. Goodbye.